I want to remind you that today is the absolute last day that you can purchase your Ontario PC membership for only $10. Go down to the comments section and click on the link, and you will immediately see where it will allow you to sign up and buy your Ontario PC membership. If you don't buy it by midnight tonight, you will not be able to participate in the Ontario PC leadership election on March 10th. The Arana Nation has endorsed Doug Ford, the only real conservative in the Ontario PC leadership election of 2018 who can win a majority. Now, Tanya Graysick Allen says she's a real conservative, but the problem is she will not win. Tanya Graysick Allen, as leader of the Ontario PC party, would not win the election, or at the very least would only win a minority, because the only her real passion is social conservative issues. Now, I am a social conservative, and Doug Ford is a social conservative, probably more than she, but the thing is, that's not all he talks about. You try to go in the Ontario election and your main passions are social conservative issues, you will be eaten, swallowed, digested, shit out, the toilet will be flushed, and the bathroom will be sprayed. Now, that's out of the way. I want to talk about Patrick Brown. First of all, this video is not an endorsement of Patrick Brown. I feel he was the worst leader of Ontario PC Party's history. He divided the party in many different directions. We have many different conservative parties in Ontario now, the Trillium, the Alliance, and a bunch of other ones, the Upper Tory or whatever, thanks to Patrick Brown, because he divided the party viciously, and conservatives just couldn't stand him. He treated conservatives, social conservatives, with disrespect. It was either his way or the highway. He wants a carbon tax. He wanted to keep the radical sex education that Kathleen Wynne updated, which now says to children that there are more than two genders. That's not a conservative thing. So even though CTV has now come out and admitted they lied about everything, it was all a lie. The thing is that conservatives are so upset with Patrick Brown, they don't even want to fight for him. And this is a lesson. The whole Patrick Brown saga is a lesson for any conservative who wants to go into politics in Canada. The liberal media, the liberal establishment, liberals, socialists in general, all of those people, the liberal establishment will never accept you. They will never like you. They will never love you. They will not care about you. And Patrick Brown has learned that lesson the hard way. Now, we see what CTV did. They basically lied on Patrick Brown. What did Patrick Brown do? Patrick Brown has done nothing to warrant any hatred of the mainstream media. In fact, he has kissed up to the liberal establishment and the liberal media. He shut social conservatives out. He scorned social conservatives. He hit no social conservatives. He blocked social conservatives from being candidates in his party. Well, it's not his party anymore. He blocked them out. He didn't want to listen to them. He wants a carbon tax, and if you don't support a carbon tax, you are not welcomed in the party. He disrespected conservatives. Now, if he had not done that, and if he had stood by conservatives, if he had stood by Jack McLaren, if he had stood by the people who put him in the leadership in the first place, if he had stood by those people, they would have fought for him to keep his job. The Arana Nation would do the same. If he had stood by social conservatives, if he had stood by people who said we don't want a carbon tax, if he had stood by the grassroots, Patrick Brown would have millions of people in his corner. Now he has nobody. Nobody wants him. Nobody. Even the Arana Nation. As much as I am angry, and I want Patrick Brown to sue CTV. I want Patrick Brown to sue the shit out of CTV. I want CTV to be torn to pieces. All of those people in CTV who lied on Patrick Brown and yellow journalism, just blurted out a bunch of, they knew it was all untrue. And even if it was untrue, even if it was true, Patrick Brown didn't do anything illegal. It was all consensual. He stopped when they said stop. He took them home. And they were not underage. They even now just said they weren't underage. So even if it was true, he didn't do anything illegal. And he's single too, so he's looking for someone. He didn't even do anything unethical, if it was true, which I don't think it was true. But with all of that, this reminds me of O.J. Simpson. Patrick Brown reminds me of O.J. Simpson. Patrick Brown is the white O.J. Simpson. And the reason I say this is because O.J. Simpson, the moment he became a millionaire, he turned his back on black people. He pretended that he wasn't black. Black people, and that's not because he dated white women. I spit on black people who say that if you date a white person, you turn your back. That's stupid. You love who you love. That's it. You love who you love. I spit on people who say otherwise. You love who you love. But O.J. Simpson had the character, his personality, the way he acted, seemed as though he really didn't care about blacks. And what ended up happening was, yes, they supported him when all the white people were saying, you killed your wife. Now no black people support O.J. Simpson. Nobody supports him. The white people don't support him and the black people don't support him because he turned his back on the black people and the white people never really liked him to begin with. It's just like Patrick Brown. He turned his back on conservatives. He turned his back. He treated them viciously. I can give you quote after quote after quote of some of the dirty things that Patrick Brown said about social conservatives. They're not welcome in this park. We have to do this and that, yada yada. Social conservatives. The sex ed thing. We want a carbon tax. Kicking people out of the nomination race who are too conservative or too social conservative. Patrick Brown stabbed social conservatives and conservatives in general in the back. He did. Now, I'm not saying he has to be like Tanya Graysick Allen and only talk about social conservative issues because you'll just lose. That's stupid. That's why Tanya Graysick Allen, yeah, she's a true conservative, but she wouldn't win anything. But Patrick Brown is the other extreme. He shuts conservatives out. He is so rude, and his people and his supporters are rude when it comes to conservatives and social conservatives. And in the end, they're all trying to kiss up to the liberal establishment, the liberal media, the liberal voters, downtown Toronto voters, and those people don't like Patrick. Look what they've done to him. Patrick used to quote the Toronto Star and all these other liberal media outlets. Look what they've all done to Patrick Brown. And as a result, Patrick Brown doesn't even have conservatives in his corner. I'm not in his corner. Now, I'm upset at what happened. I think he should remain in the caucus. But I'm not really in Patrick Brown's corner because what he did was so disrespectful. When he was leader, he divided this party. The Ontario PC party was so divided and so miserable. You used to have people on Facebook, and I just wanted to just punch them so bad. Oh, punch them in their face so bad. Well, if you don't like Patrick Brown, you just want Kathleen Wynne. You fucking idiot. No, I don't want Kathleen Wynne. But I don't want to support somebody who just shuns everything my beliefs and my standards and our standards, the conservative standards. There is no conservative who supports teaching children that there are more than two genders. He should not have said, oh, the sex ed is all good, we won't talk about it. Yes, there are certain things in the sex ed curriculum updated that I support. Yes, I think that children should be aware of sex and things like that. But parents need to be consulted, and we should not be telling our kids that there are more than two genders. And then, of course, then he wants the carbon tax. And then he's so rude to people who are just disagreeing with him and getting his people and do you want Kathleen Wynne? Say that one more time, I'll knock your teeth out. Say it one more time. This is why Patrick Brown is good as gone. Is good to be gone. You see how angry I'm getting? That's how the whole party was feeling when this fool was leader. He was so contemptuous of grassroots conservatives. And the sad thing is the grassroots conservatives were the ones who stood by him against Christine Establishment Wynne Elliott in 2015. Jack McLaren, all those people endorsed Patrick Brown. When all the establishment were saying, we don't want this this guy. Because there was one point when Patrick Brown was very conservative. And the establishment and the PC didn't want him. And then he changed. But this is a lesson to all conservatives in Canada who want to go into politics. Do not stab your base in the back. And in order to try and kiss up to the liberal establishment. Because you see what the liberal establishment have done to Patrick Brown? And he realizes it. And I think Patrick Brown feels very guilty right now. Because he knows nobody is in his corner. Yeah, maybe a few people, people who are related to the party might, not me. And a lot of people don't care. Because of what he did to his grassroots. If he had stuck with grassroots conservatives, if he would have stuck with us, if he'd have worked with us, I'm not saying he has to kiss our ass, but if he'd have worked, if he'd have just stuck with us, if he was not so rude with us, honestly, if he would have stuck with us, even though I love Doug Ford, if Patrick Brown, who was elected before any of them, had stuck with the grassroots conservatives, I would say, no, I like you, Doug, but I'm supporting Patrick. If he would have stuck with us, and the Arana Nation has a lot of, I would have made a video, I would trash the whole CTV headquarters up for Patrick Brown. I'd have trash up the whole of Ontario for Patrick Brown, but I ain't doing anything for Patrick Brown. It's the same thing with O.J. Simpson. You have to stick with your base. You cannot be... The liberal establishment don't like you. You see what they've done to Patrick? You see what they've done to him? You see? Now he's trying to come back in saying he's the real leader. He ain't no leader. He's done. You try and get in there now and see what's going to happen to you. This is the Arana Nation. Remember, today is the last day to buy your Ontario PC membership. It's only $10. Go down to the link at the comment section, click on it, and buy your Ontario PC membership. If you do not buy it by midnight tonight, you will not be able to participate on March 10th. And I've endorsed Doug Ford, the only real conservative in that whole race who can win a majority. Tanya Graysick Allen will not win anything if she's the leader of the Ontario PCs, because her real passion, the only thing she really loves talking about, are social conservative issues. And there are many, many other issues in Ontario to talk about. Hydro, taxes, the affordability, the debt, the deficit, all this sort of stuff. You go in there, only talk about being pro-life and all this other stuff, you're going to lose like a dog. This is the Arana Nation.